Hey everybody, this is Gem Queen, aka Game Show Guru. Now, I want to talk about a huge rant about one network that still has bothered me from childhood. Yeah. This is CBS, Columbia Broadcasting System. This, in my opinion, along with the American Broadcasting Company, these two networks, in my opinion, from their career in game shows, really tested me as a child. Now, from reading the game show book for many, many years, which I consider the game show book my Bible, the only problem that I have with, say, most of the CBS and ABC game shows, they didn't follow NBC. Being popular, have long runs, and try to become, the number one network by gloating like crazy. Yes, in CBS Daytime and CBS Primetime and ABC Daytime and ABC Primetime, when you always saw their bumpers and promos growing up, they bragged and boasted like no tomorrow. NBC has never done that, and they were dead last in the ratings race. And look how ABC and CBS crumbled. In game shows, ABC is the king of the failures. They've done the most terrible runs in game show history because both NBC and CBS dominated the morning slots while ABC and CBS dominated the afternoon time slots. And this goes back to the early to mid 70s. Oh, in the 60s too. But understand this. After the game show crash of 1968, the New York game show crash, no offense to their game shows at all, I will say this. It took the Columbia Broadcasting System 3.5 years after To Tell the Truth was canceled on September 6, 1968. That means from September 9th, 1968, the day when What's My Line premiered in syndication, all the way down to March 24th, 1972, the end of the first week of the premiere week of Split Second on ABC with Tom Kennedy. That's 3.5 years that CBS did nothing in game shows. Unless if you want to count the reruns. But CBS didn't recover. Yes, they premiered 3 shows, one of them that we still know and love, the one I kind of despise, and 2 other game shows that I thought should have actually dominated on network, Gambit and The Joker's Wild. The problem is that, Gambit and The Joker's Wild never survived long runs. The Joker's Wild survived only 2 years, 9 months in daytime, which ended on June 13th, 1975, and Gambit ending only 4 years and 3 months, ending on December 10th, 1976, and both were replaced the following Monday. Spin-off replaced The Joker's Wild, and Double Dare, not the Nickelodeon version, replaced Gambit. While ABC just mostly sat there and did close to nothing themselves by premiering wise. And during 1972 to 73, the only show they premiered, of course, was Split Second. And didn't do a new game show or premiere a new game show until May 6th, 1974, meaning the $10,000 Pyramid moving to ABC. And during most of those game shows during past May 6th, 1974, all the way up to June 27th, 1980, failure after failure after failure. Now, here's what will shock you about ABC. After the $20,000 Pyramid was canceled, from that time being, on June 30th, 1980, the only thing that was playing in daytime was Family Feud. And that's it, in daytime, until October 5th, 1984. That's pretty long to not giving a shit. Okay? That's 4 years. That's over 4 years to just not even try. And ABC premiered only 6 programs that failed, that didn't even try. You had Trivia Trap, All-Star Blitz, Bruce Forsyth's Hot Streak, Double Talk, Bargain Hunters, and Match Game. They tried, and they failed. And ABC was the first network to actually put up the white flag for daytime and game shows on July 12, 1991. And ABC just didn't even care. They were so completely hyper-focused on their soap operas, just like CBS was in the 80s, and didn't seem to care. Now, here's why I think ABC holds that, crown very hard. During the 1950s, the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s, ABC has done so many failures over their major powerhouse or popular shows. The Dating Game, the Newlywed Game, Let's Make a Deal, the 10 of the $20,000 Pyramid, and Who Do You Trust, and Family Feud. 6 programs that they had popular out of 194 game shows. 194. Right there, in my opinion, is just saying that ABC just did whatever they could to try to revive a good game show, or try to do a good game show. But I think the Dating Game and the Newlywed Game are probably the good reasons why ABC, tarnished its reputation. Since the Dating Game and the Newlywed Game were as raunchy as hell, I think that was the major problem in the show itself. The only problem that I have against, say ABC, was I think they did very well during the 60s and 70s, but I think after when the new decade, the 80s came in, I think ABC just gave up. I think they were a tired network. I think they were just giving up on the game show genre, which they did for a long time. CBS, on the other hand, kind of did, as mostly I consider the cheapest network of all time. They are the cheapest network I've ever seen in my life. After watching so many game shows on CBS, after I call it the recovery of game shows in 1972, all the way to, I would say, probably about when they gave up, after 1993, other than Price is Right, of course. I have seen the cheapness go just as bad. Even for 72 standards, I still think it's ridiculous for what they were offering. I mean, you got to think about this. If you were on the Joker's Wild, okay? Let's just say this for an example. You go on the Joker's Wild. The maximum you can win in one day without winning the jackpot or the car is a maximum of less than $1,500. Are you kidding me? You could go on Concentration on NBC, or 3 on a Match on NBC, or a few other of the game shows on NBC at that time, and could win over about $5,000 to $15,000. You can win 10 times that dollar value. The only time that CBS started to do what I would consider the game show, retrospective, would be, of course, the $10,000 Pyramid and Match Game. These 2 shows proved that CBS could be an effort in a game show and did very well. But I would say later on, I think they started to slip. Now, here's another example where I think CBS just didn't even try to even care. Now you see it with Jack Nars. Now, I do love this show a lot, but I will say about the championship structure that they really didn't put any effort to, in my opinion. Now, the jackpot starts at $5,000 and adds $1,000 every day until it was broken. Okay, that's pretty That's pretty good. And the maximum they can go up to is $25,000. Now, I have seen this happen many times watching this on Game Show Network. Here's the problem. Many contestants can actually can win the solo game on the first try, which would mean that they would win, you know, their little two prizes that they won in the qualifying round, which is about $1,000 plus. Yeah, they say over 500, but it's technically over $1,000. So I think Jack was lying. You know, plus your earnings that you lost in the solo round, which means that you get the minimums, and then you win the jackpot. You are now retired as champion. You're done. How about you keep going like you normally do in every game show, like in Jeopardy? You stay there for 5 days, and you win jackpot after jackpot after jackpot. No wonder the show only lasted a year. Another CBS game show in 1979-80 was Whew with Tom Kennedy, or as what Rod Roddy would say, whew. This was also what I would consider the lazy structure of the champion structure. The jackpot, or winnings, is $25,000 plus your earnings as charger and blocker. Here's the problem. Again, you win the $25,000, you were done. You were done. And you were done as champion. See? CBS just said, okay, we're going to give a big cash jackpot, but whoever wins it, they're complete. They're done. Bad idea. Bad idea. When you watch like numerous of those game shows, like on NBC, they kept going. They kept every contestant going. They could win jackpot after jackpot after jackpot after jackpot after jackpot until they were defeated, dethroned, or retired as the fairness of game show structure. See, CBS didn't even try. They had a great structure to game show, like, you know, with Tom Kennedy's Whew, and now you see it with Jack Nar's and a few others. When you take the jackpot structure and make the champion, whoever breaks it is retired. That is not fair, because it would take a long time for, say, contestants to get, like, say, the jackpot when it gets a little higher. And that's where you want to see. You want to see, you know, you want to be on the edge of your seat to try to believe that, say, this contestant or contestants can win $20,000 or $25,000. You want to see them win that, but you want to see them win more. But even for the mid to late 70s, it's still not what I would consider, you know, a right thing to do. And there's many other CBS game shows that follow that structure, and really it hurt. And no wonder that CBS didn't even try, and tried to act like they were the dominant network. Yeah. And believe it or not, CBS tried to recover themselves as the #1 network of all time during the mid to late 70s to the whole entire 80s, which was a total lie. Yeah, they had some good popular shows in prime time, which I have no discrimination for in any way whatsoever. But when you brag for all those years, you know karma's going to kick you in the balls. And trust me, after the fall of 1975, or late 75, like in December, oh, trust me, ABC poked that eye so hard, I don't even know where to begin. And ABC dominated from 1976 up until 1981. And then NBC dominated for the rest of the decade. And they dominated without no bragging. They didn't have to brag. They proved that NBC was the dominant network. And I always praised the Peacock ever since. I praised the Peacock ever since I was growing up and watched it like it was the Playboy Network to me. And they had the structure in the game shows and in the soap operas and whatever was playing in prime time. They dominated in every structure on television for a long time, even when they were dead last in the ratings race. Even still, I think NBC did what they did. They didn't have to really prove that they had to be the #1 network like their cheerleaders. I want to stop here on this one structure of why I want to hate CBS and ABC, but I will do more of this when I have a chance. So I know it's been a while since I've done some videos, but I have been a little sick, and plus I've been kind of busy with work. So I hope you guys enjoy this, okay? Bye, everybody.